The warnings. In the far reaches of the galaxy, among the spiraling arms of stars and nebulas, Earth had long been designated as a death world in the Galactic Educational Exchange Program. It was known not for its beauty, which was considerable, or for its rich history, which was captivating, but for its dangers, which were abundant. When the program announced its newest members, students from the remote planet of Syrinx, it came with stern warnings. Syrinxians, ethereal beings composed of light and sound, found comfort in their serene, harmonious world. Earth, with its harsh environments and chaotic nature, was the antithesis of their home. The gravity alone could crush your spectral forms, cautioned Administrator Lear, addressing the group of selected students in their luminous assembly hall. And let's not forget Earth's wildlife. Even the smallest creatures can be deadly. Despite the warnings, a thrill ran through the students. For them, Earth represented the ultimate challenge, a rite of passage that could prove their adaptability and bravery. The arrival. As the sleek Syrinxian shuttle approached Earth, the students pressed their faces against the viewports, eager to catch their first glimpse of the blue and green planet below. They had studied its landscapes and cultures, but nothing could prepare them for the sight of it spinning gracefully in the void. The shuttle landed with a gentle thud in a secluded area of the North American wilderness, specifically chosen to minimize initial culture shock. Trees towered above, their leaves whispering secrets in the wind, a stark contrast to the silent crystals of Syrinx. Stepping out onto the spongy earth, the students felt the pull of Earth's gravity for the first time. It was an odd, heavy sensation, tugging at their light forms, distorting their usual graceful movements into clumsy stumbles. "We must learn to adapt quickly," murmured Fen, the group leader, his form flickering with determination. First contact. Their first encounter with Earth's inhabitants came sooner than expected. A curious deer with soft eyes and twitching ears approached the group. The students, recalling their briefings, remained still, knowing that sudden movements could startle the creature. Yet, it was not the wildlife that first tested them, but the weather. A storm rolled in abruptly, dark clouds swallowing the sky, thunder booming like the drums of war. Rain pelted their sensitive forms, each drop a tiny bombardment. "We need shelter," Fen said, leading the group towards a cluster of nearby trees. They huddled together, their forms blending into a shimmering shield against the rain. As they stood there, drenched and shivering in the unfamiliar cold, a new realization dawned on them. Earth was alive, a dynamic entity unlike the static beauty of Syrinx. It was a world of challenges, of constant changes and adaptations. The lesson begins. That night, as they camped under the vast canopy of stars, the students gathered around a small fire, a concept alien to them, but necessary for warmth. They spoke in hushed tones about the day's events, each sharing their fears and fascinations. "The deer," one student began. "It was beautiful but so fragile. How does such a creature survive in this wild?" "It adapts," Fen replied. "And so must we. Tomorrow we begin learning in earnest. We will understand why Earth is called a death world, and by understanding, we shall thrive." As the fire crackled and the shadows danced, the students looked out into the darkness of the woods, their minds filled with wonder and apprehension. Earth was more than a death world. It was a world of living lessons waiting to be understood. And so, under the starlit sky, their journey on Earth began, filled with the promise of discovery and the peril of the unknown. The day after the demonstration, Dr. Emily Zhao was busy in her office, preparing for what could be one of the most significant projects of her career. The idea of a joint military exercise with the Zirconians had caught the attention of both Earth's Global Defense Council and the Zirconian High Command. Both parties saw it as an opportunity to foster deeper military cooperation and exchange knowledge that could benefit their respective defensive capabilities. The plan was to hold the exercise on Titan, one of Saturn's moons, which had been terraformed and turned into a training ground for interstellar military maneuvers. The harsh and varied terrain of Titan made it an ideal setting for testing both Earth and alien technologies under extreme conditions. As Dr. Zhao prepared her presentation, she received a secure video call from Commander Zalruk. His hologram flickered into existence above her desk, the details of his scaled face and sharp eyes rendered crisply in the projection. "Dr. Zhao," he greeted, his tone more formal than she had anticipated. "I have been given authority to proceed with the planning of this joint exercise. My superiors are particularly interested in how our hover tanks will perform in conjunction with your ground forces." Dr. Zhao nodded, her mind racing through the logistics. "We're equally eager to see how our systems operate together, Commander. I believe our Abrams tanks, alongside your air support, could lead to innovative combat strategies." The next few weeks were a whirlwind of planning and negotiations. Delegates from both civilizations met multiple times, discussing everything from logistical support to emergency protocols. The Zirconians, with their advanced technology, offered to provide transport to Titan, while Earth would set up the main command center using the infrastructure already in place. The day of the exercise. The joint exercise was set to showcase a variety of scenarios, from defense against drone swarms to coordinated strikes on fortified positions. Earth's forces were eager to prove that their older technology could still hold significant strategic value, while the Zirconians looked forward to demonstrating the superiority of their aerial tactics. On the day of the exercise, Dr. Zhao and Commander Zalruk stood side by side in the command center on Titan, watching as the troops prepared for the first scenario. Earth's tanks took their positions, the familiar form of the Abrams now accompanied by newer models, equipped with hybrid armor and enhanced targeting systems. The first test was a defensive maneuver. Zirconian hover tanks took up positions in the sky, their silhouettes stark against Titan's pale orange sky. Below, Earth's tanks spread out across the rugged terrain, their gun barrels tracking the skies. Suddenly, a fleet of drones, simulating an enemy air attack, descended towards the tanks. The Abrams and its modern brethren unleashed a barrage of fire, shooting down drones with precision, while the Zirconians provided cover, intercepting those that got too close. The exercise was a resounding success, with minimal simulated casualties and high marks for coordination and execution. As each scenario unfolded, it became clear that the synergy between Earth's robust ground tactics and Zirconian aerial support was formidable. Throughout the day, Commander Zalruk and Dr. Zhao discussed potential improvements and modifications to their tactics and equipment. It was during these conversations that a deeper respect for each other's military philosophies and technologies developed. As the exercise concluded, the commanders of both forces met on the field, exchanging salutes and congratulations. It was a moment of triumph, not just in terms of military might, but in the forging of a new understanding and respect between two very different civilizations. The sun set on Titan, casting long shadows over the landscape as Dr. Zhao and Commander Zalruk reviewed the day's recordings. They agreed that the exercise should be the first of many, and plans were made to hold similar events annually. As the Titan exercise became a regular event, dubbed the Titan Games, it sparked a broader movement for military transparency and cooperation within the Galactic Union. What started as a tactical demonstration between Earth and Zirconia soon included other member planets, each eager to showcase their own technologies and learn from others. Dr. Emily Zhao found herself at the center of this newfound interstellar initiative, working tirelessly to foster these alliances. Her efforts, along with Commander Zalruk's advocacy within the Zirconian military, led to the formation of the Interstellar Defense Symposium, IDS, a platform for military collaboration and peacekeeping strategies. The Symposium. The first meeting of the IDS was held on Earth, in the International Space Station's newly expanded conference module, which now orbited Earth as a neutral meeting ground. Representatives from various planets brought their unique perspectives, contributing to a rich tapestry of defense ideologies and strategies. During the symposium, Dr. Zhao introduced a new agenda, the sharing of historical military conflicts to extract lessons and preempt future interstellar conflicts. As each representative presented their planet's past, a pattern emerged. Many conflicts arose from misunderstandings and preemptive defense measures. Commander Zalruk took the stage to discuss Zirconia's most devastating war, which had been triggered by a misinterpreted military exercise similar to the Titan Games. His candid sharing about the mistakes and the subsequent devastation served as a powerful reminder of the need for clear communication. The revelation. However, the symposium took an unexpected turn when a delegate from the previously isolated planet Vortexia presented. The Vortexians, known for their secretive nature, revealed they had been observing the Titan Games and detected what they believed to be encrypted signals being sent to an unknown destination outside the Galactic Union. The revelation caused a stir among the delegates. The threat of an external observer, potentially with malicious intent, shifted the focus of the symposium from cooperation to collective security. Dr. Zhao, seeing an opportunity to unify the member planets, proposed the creation of a combined intelligence and reconnaissance task force. Commander Zalruk, seeing the gravity of the situation, offered Zirconian technology to assist in the effort. The task force was quickly established, with Dr. Zhao appointed as its head. Their first mission was to trace the signals and uncover the identity and intentions of the mysterious observer. The trace operation. Using a combination of Earth's deep space sensors and Zirconian decryption technology, the task force worked diligently from a specially outfitted command ship. The operation was intense, with every member of the team aware of the stakes. Finally, after weeks of relentless pursuit, the source was traced to a rogue planet drifting at the edge of the known galaxy. The planet, devoid of a star, was not previously known to host life. The task force prepared for a reconnaissance mission, uncertain of what they might find. As they approached the planet, sensors detected a series of underground structures, suggesting not just life, but a potentially advanced civilization. The team decided on a cautious approach, sending a series of communication probes to establish intent before attempting a landing. The response from the planet was as surprising as it was enlightening. The inhabitants, calling themselves the Shadow Folk, were descendants of a long-lost colony ship that had drifted out of contact with the Galactic Union centuries ago. They had been monitoring the Union, unsure of their welcome after so long. New allies. Realizing the potential to reintegrate the Shadow Folk into the galactic community, Dr. Zhao saw an opportunity not only for increased security, but for a profound expansion of their understanding of the galaxy. The symposium quickly extended an invitation to the Shadow Folk to join the Union and participate in the IDS. As the chapter closes, the Galactic Union stands on the brink of a new era, with old fears giving way to new alliances, and the Titan Games evolving from a simple military exercise to a beacon of unity and understanding across the stars. With the Shadow Folk's existence revealed and their willingness to communicate established, the Galactic Union moved quickly to bring them into the fold. The IDS, under Dr. Emily Zhao's leadership, organized a series of diplomatic missions to the rogue planet, now officially named Shadow's Refuge. The diplomatic mission Dr. Zhao, accompanied by Commander Zalruk and a delegation of diplomats from various Union planets, traveled to Shadow's Refuge. The planet was enigmatic, its surface shrouded in perpetual darkness due to the absence of a sun. The only light came from bioluminescent flora and the cities themselves, which glowed with a soft, otherworldly light. As the delegation descended into the planet's atmosphere, they were greeted by a spectacle of lights and colors. The Shadow Folk had developed a unique culture around their isolation and the harsh conditions of their world. Their architecture was both beautiful and practical, designed to conserve heat and maximize light. The leader of the Shadow Folk, Elder Silran, welcomed the delegation with warmth that belied the cold environment. "We have watched from the shadows for centuries, uncertain of our place in the galaxy. Your approach gives us hope that we might step into the light," she expressed during the welcome ceremony. The Symposium on Shadow's Refuge. A special session of the IDS was held on Shadow's Refuge to facilitate the integration of the Shadow Folk. During the symposium, Elder Silran shared the history of their people, a tale of survival against odds that many had thought insurmountable. The Shadow Folk had developed advanced stealth technology, capable of making their ships virtually undetectable. Dr. Zhao proposed the creation of the Shadow Accord, a treaty that would not only incorporate the Shadow Folk into the Galactic Union but also share their stealth technology for defensive purposes across the Union. In exchange, the Union would assist in the development of Shadow's refuge and ensure its protection, testing the alliance. The new alliance was soon put to the test. A distress signal was received from a nearby system where a Union mining colony was under attack by space pirates. The Shadowfolk, eager to prove their commitment and the efficacy of their technology, led the response. Their ships, sleek and nearly invisible against the backdrop of space, made quick work of the pirate vessels, disabling them without causing widespread destruction. The efficiency and non-lethal approach impressed the other Union members, showcasing the potential of stealth over sheer firepower. A broader vision. Back at the IDS, discussions turned to broader implications of the Shadow Accord. With the integration of the Shadowfolk, the Union had not only gained a new member but also access to technology that could shift the balance of power in the galaxy. Dr. Zhao emphasized the importance of using this new power responsibly. "We must not become complacent, nor should we exploit this for aggressive expansion," she advised. "Our strength lies not just in our military capabilities, but in our ability to foster trust and cooperation." The future of the IDS. As the IDS continued to grow, so did its influence across the galaxy. The annual Titan Games became a celebration of this unity, featuring not only military exercises, but also cultural exchanges and technological exhibitions. Shadow's Refuge hosted one such event, turning it into a festival of lights that attracted visitors from across the galaxy. The chapter ends with Dr. Zhao and Commander Zalruk observing the festivities, reflecting on their journey. From a military exercise on Titan to a galaxy-wide symposium of peace, their efforts had helped forge a Union more robust and inclusive than ever. "We started with a simple show of force, and now we stand here, united by our desire to protect and understand each other," Dr. Zhao mused. Commander Zalruk nodded, his eyes on the glowing horizon. "And the galaxy is all the better for it." As the Galactic Union continued to expand and integrate more diverse civilizations, the focus shifted from mere defense to a broader vision of galactic harmony and prosperity. Dr. Emily Zhao, now regarded as a key architect of this new era, initiated the Galactic Harmony Project, an ambitious plan aimed at addressing not just security concerns, but also economic, environmental, and cultural challenges facing the Union. The Galactic Harmony Project. The project was launched at a grand assembly on the capital planet of the Union, Unity Prime, where representatives from over 100 planets gathered. Dr. Zhao, in her keynote speech, outlined the multifaceted approach of the project, which included sustainable development initiatives, cultural exchange programs, and a galactic trade agreement to ensure fair trade practices across systems. One of the flagship initiatives was the Cultural Odyssey, a series of events where planets would host others, showcasing their art, cuisine, technology, and traditions. The goal was to foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of the diverse cultures within the Union. Shadow's Refuge, a beacon of integration. Shadow's Refuge, with its unique position and recent history, was chosen as the first host for the Cultural Odyssey. The festival on the planet was a resounding success, drawing curious visitors from across the galaxy to experience the once-hidden world's marvels. The Shadowfolk displayed their advancements in energy efficiency and stealth technology, now repurposed for peaceful applications, like wildlife conservation and emergency response. Unexpected challenges. However, the path to unity was not without its challenges. A faction within the Union, led by a few isolated planets, expressed concerns over what they perceived as a dilution of their cultural identity and autonomy. These planets, calling themselves the Sovereign Alignment, began to advocate for less central governance and more planetary sovereignty. Dr. Zhao and the Union leaders addressed this growing faction with a proposal for a planetary rights charter, which would guarantee significant autonomy in local governance while maintaining allegiance to the Union for interstellar matters like defense and trade. The Sovereign Summit. A special summit was convened on the neutral ground of the historical Titan Games site, now a symbol of unity and cooperation. The summit brought leaders of the Sovereign Alignment and other Union members together to negotiate the terms of the Charter. After intense negotiations, a consensus was reached. The Charter was signed, granting more rights to individual planets while ensuring they contributed fairly to the Union's collective needs. This agreement was hailed as a major step forward in addressing the complex dynamics of a Union comprising such diverse entities, legacy, and continuation. As Dr. Zhao looked back on the journey from military alliances to a comprehensive union of planetary systems, she felt a profound sense of accomplishment and a hint of trepidation about the future. The galaxy was more connected than ever, but the connections were delicate, requiring constant nurturing and adaptation. In her closing remarks at the latest IDS conference, she reflected, "Our union is like a living organism, continually evolving. We must be vigilant and adaptive, but above all, we must remain committed to our shared vision of peace and prosperity." As the conference adjourned, the representatives stood, clapping, their faces a mosaic of the galaxy's diversity: human, Zirconian, shadow folk, and many others. They were united not just by treaties and agreements, but by a shared dream, one that Dr. Zhao had helped to forge from the legacy of old wars and new friendships. The future. The chapter ends with the camera panning out from the conference room, across the spaceport bustling with ships from countless worlds, and into the vastness of space. It's a galaxy brimming with potential, challenges, and hope, an enduring testament to the power of unity. In the aftermath of the Planetary Rights Charter's success, the Galactic Union entered a phase of unprecedented stability and growth. However, the tranquility of the galaxy was soon tested by a new, unexpected challenge, an anomaly detected at the edge of the known universe, threatening to disrupt the fabric of space-time itself. The anomaly. The anomaly first appeared as a minor distortion on long-range sensors, but it quickly escalated into a significant concern. It was unlike anything the Union scientists had encountered, a swirling vortex of energy seemingly consuming and altering the very laws of physics around it. Dr. Emily Zhao, along with a team of the Union's top physicists and astrophysicists, was tasked with forming a response team. The team's mission was to understand and, if possible, neutralize the anomaly before it could pose a direct threat to any inhabited systems. Assembling the response team. Recognizing the potential need for both scientific insight and tactical acumen, Dr. Zhao enlisted the help of Commander Zalruk and a new figure, Dr. Aeon Mystery, a renowned theoretical physicist known for his work on quantum singularities. Together, they assembled a diverse crew, including scientists from various disciplines and skilled pilots from different races, including a skilled shadowfolk navigator named Liara. Journey to the unknown. The team embarked aboard the vessel Harmony's Edge, a ship equipped with the latest experimental technology designed to withstand extreme conditions. As they approached the anomaly, the effects became more pronounced: communication delays, sensor malfunctions, and strange visual phenomena. Inside the command center of the ship, tension mounted as they neared the swirling vortex. Dr. Mystery, monitoring the data flooding in, hypothesized that the anomaly could be a naturally occurring but highly unstable wormhole, possibly created by the collision of two dense, massive stars long ago. First contact. Unexpectedly, as they deployed probes into the anomaly, a signal was detected coming from within the vortex. It was structured, unmistakable, and clearly artificial. The team was stunned. They were not dealing with a mere cosmic phenomenon, but with something, or someone, capable of sending a deliberate message. The signal was a series of mathematical sequences, which Dr. Mystery interpreted as coordinates and a basic communication protocol. It seemed to be an invitation, or a request for help. The decision faced with the potential of encountering an entirely new civilization or entity, the team debated their next move. Dr. Zhao advocated for caution, suggesting they study the anomaly further before entering. However, Commander Zalruk, supported by others, argued for a more proactive approach, proposing that they accept the invitation and attempt to enter the wormhole. After much deliberation, it was decided that a small, specialized team would use a shuttle equipped with the latest stealth and shielding technologies to venture into the wormhole. Dr. Zhao, Dr. Mystery, Commander Zalruk, and Liara volunteered for the mission, ready to face whatever lay on the other side. Through the vortex. As they passed through the vortex, reality seemed to warp around them. The shuttle shook violently, and for a moment, they feared they would be torn apart. But then suddenly, the chaos ceased. They emerged into a realm unlike any they had known, vast, serene, and illuminated by a constellation of unfamiliar stars. Before them lay a space station, its architecture a blend of technologies both eerily familiar and completely alien. As they approached, a transmission welcomed them in a multitude of languages. Some known, others not. "Welcome, travelers, to the confluence of realms," the voice said, peaceful yet profound. "The new horizon." The chapter closes as the shuttle docks with the station, and the doors open to reveal beings from various dimensions, all gathered in a council that transcended time and space. The Union's representatives stepped into the assembly, poised to begin a dialogue that could redefine their understanding of the universe. Following the groundbreaking interactions at the confluence of realms, the Galactic Union faced unexpected repercussions from their dealings with interdimensional entities. The chapter begins with a sudden and disturbing phenomenon, mysterious ripples affecting physical and temporal realities across multiple systems. The onset of disturbances. The disturbances first appeared as minor glitches in reality, objects momentarily phasing out of existence, temporal inconsistencies where time either sped up or slowed down dramatically, and navigational systems leading ships astray. Initially dismissed as isolated incidents, these occurrences soon proved to be widespread and systemic. Dr. Emily Zhao, sensing the gravity of these anomalies, convened an emergency meeting of the Union's top scientific minds and interdimensional experts, including Commander Zalruk and Dr. Mystery. Together, they formed a special task force, dubbed the Reality Assessment Command, RAC, to investigate and address these reality ripples. Investigation and discovery. The RAC's first mission was to chart the disturbances' epicenters. They discovered that these epicenters were located near sites where interdimensional exchanges had been most frequent and intense. One site in particular was the newly established Intergalactic Science Hub, where experimental technologies had been tested just days before the first incidents were reported. Dr. Mystery hypothesized that their use of advanced dimensional tech might have thinned the barriers between realities, causing overlaps and disruptions. To test this theory, the team initiated a series of controlled experiments aiming to reverse the disturbances by recalibrating the dimensional devices to restore barrier integrity. Unintended consequences. The recalibration efforts initially seemed successful. The minor ripples were mitigated. However, during a high-energy test, a significant dimensional breach occurred, opening a portal to an unknown dimension. From this portal emerged entities of pure energy, manifesting chaotic and seemingly hostile intentions. Commander Zalruk's security teams, equipped with energy-based weaponry developed from Confluence Technologies, engaged the entities. The battle was fierce and illuminated the need for better understanding and preparedness against such dimensional threats. The Dimensional Summit. Realizing the potential dangers of unchecked interdimensional interactions, Dr. Zhao proposed a dimensional summit, inviting leaders and experts from across the Union and its allied dimensions. The summit focused on establishing guidelines and safety protocols for dimensional research and travel. At the summit, a pivotal decision was made to create the Dimensional Stability Agency, DSA, a new body responsible for overseeing all interdimensional activities. The DSA was tasked with ensuring that all dimensional gates and technologies adhered to strict safety and ethical standards, restoration and recovery. With the DSA in place, efforts to restore stability intensified. Innovative technologies were developed to reinforce dimensional barriers, including the deployment of reality anchors at key sites throughout the galaxy. These devices helped stabilize the fabric of reality, preventing further intrusions and anomalies. The recovery was slow but steady. As stability returned, the affected communities began to rebuild, and trust in dimensional technologies was gradually restored, thanks to transparent efforts and public outreach by the DSA. Reflections on Unity and Vigilance. As the chapter concludes, Dr. Zhao reflects on the lessons learned from this crisis. She acknowledged that their drive to explore and integrate had perhaps outpaced their understanding of the consequences. Moving forward, she emphasized the importance of vigilance and responsible governance in harnessing the powers of dimensional technology. The sun set over the Union's capital as Dr. Zhao watched from her office, contemplating the delicate balance they must maintain between curiosity and caution, between reaching out to the unknown and protecting their known universe. After establishing robust relations with the confluence of realms, Dr. Emily Zhao and her team, including Commander Zalruk and Dr. Aeon Mystery, were instrumental in initiating a new era of interdimensional cooperation. This chapter explores their efforts to integrate these newfound alliances into the Galactic Union's framework, highlighting the challenges and triumphs they encounter. Integration and innovation. The integration process began with what was termed the Dimensional Accord, a series of treaties and agreements designed to govern the interactions between the dimensions and the Galactic Union. Dr. Zhao led the negotiation team, focusing on creating a structure that would not only allow but encourage shared technological and cultural exchanges. One of the groundbreaking outcomes was the establishment of the Intergalactic Science Hub on the edge of the known universe, a joint venture between the Union and the Confluence. This hub was designed to be a center of learning and research for scientists from all participating dimensions, equipped with technology that could manipulate time-space fabric for advanced experiments. New challenges. However, with new opportunities came new challenges. The introduction of interdimensional technology began to disrupt traditional industries across the Galactic Union. Entire sectors were at risk of becoming obsolete overnight, causing economic upheaval and social unrest on several planets. Recognizing the need for a sustainable transition, Dr. Zhao proposed the Harmonization Initiative, a fund to support planets affected by the rapid technological changes. This initiative aimed to retrain workers, revitalize industries, and ensure that no planet was left behind in the rush towards futuristic technologies. Temporal anomalies. As the new technologies were deployed, unexpected side effects began to emerge. Temporal anomalies, small pockets of time distortion, started appearing on planets close to the Intergalactic Science Hub. These anomalies caused time to flow differently, creating zones where minutes passed like hours, and vice versa. Commander Zalruk, with his tactical background, coordinated a response team to manage these anomalies. Working closely with Dr. Mystery, they developed a containment protocol using a device called the Chrono Stabilizer, which could normalize time flow within the affected areas. The echoes of the past. During one of their missions to contain a temporal anomaly, the team discovered that these distortions could be manipulated to view events from the past. This revelation opened the door to understanding historical events more accurately, but it also raised ethical questions about privacy and the potential for historical revisionism. Dr. Zhao convened an ethical committee within the Galactic Union to address these concerns. They established strict guidelines for the use of temporal viewing technologies, ensuring they were used only for research and with the highest regard for historical integrity. The Festival of Dimensions. To celebrate the successful integration of the Confluence and the Union, a grand festival was held, known as the Festival of Dimensions. It featured cultural exhibitions from various realms, showcasing art, music, and traditions that had never been seen before by many attendees. The festival also included demonstrations of interdimensional technology, from teleportation exhibits to time manipulation seminars, all carefully overseen to ensure safety and compliance with Union regulations. Reflections. As the festival drew to a close, Dr. Zhao and her team reflected on their journey. They had navigated the complexities of interdimensional diplomacy, tackled unprecedented scientific challenges, and laid the groundwork for a more interconnected and harmonious galaxy. The chapter ends with Dr. Zhao watching the sunset on a remote beach on her home planet, the skies tinted with colors from a dimension not her own, a reminder of the boundless possibilities now open to them. The integration of interdimensional relations brought about a golden age for the Galactic Union, but it also unveiled new and complex challenges, particularly in the realm of temporal and dimensional anomalies. In this chapter, we explore a crisis that tests the Union's resilience and the fundamental understanding of their universe. The crisis unfolds. It began with a series of unexplained disappearances across various planets, individuals vanishing without a trace, only to reappear days or weeks later with no memory of where they had been. These incidents were initially thought to be isolated cases, but as they increased in frequency, a pattern emerged, linking them to the temporal anomalies being studied at the Intergalactic Science Hub. Dr. Emily Zhao, alarmed by these developments, convened an emergency session with the Union's top scientists, including Dr. Eon Mystery and representatives from the confluence of realms. They hypothesized that the temporal anomalies might be creating rips in the fabric of space-time, inadvertently pulling individuals into different dimensions. The Paradox Protocol. To address the crisis, Dr. Zhao proposed the activation of the Paradox Protocol, a contingency plan developed in the early days of interdimensional exploration. This protocol was designed to temporarily seal all known dimensional gateways, essentially resetting the space-time continuum to its default state. The decision was not without controversy, as sealing the gateways would disrupt the lives of countless citizens across the galaxy and halt the flow of knowledge and resources from other dimensions. However, the risk of further destabilizing the universe forced the Union's hand. Sealing the rifts. Commander Zalruk led the tactical execution of the Paradox Protocol. His team, equipped with specialized gear capable of withstanding severe temporal shifts, set out to seal the rifts. Each operation was fraught with danger, as the rifts were unpredictable and often defended by strange, sometimes hostile entities that seemed to guard the gateways between worlds. During one particularly perilous mission, Dr. Mystery and his team were nearly lost to a temporal loop, experiencing the same moment repeatedly until they managed to deploy a chronostabilizer to break the cycle. This close call underscored the immense risks involved in tampering with dimensional boundaries. A new discovery. In the midst of the crisis, Liara, the skilled Shadowfolk navigator, made a breakthrough. She discovered that the anomalies were not random, but were influenced by emotional and psychological states of the individuals affected. This insight led to a revised approach to handling the anomalies, focusing on protective measures that shielded not just the physical body, but also the mental state of those at risk. The Symposium on Temporal Ethics. Recognizing the need for a more profound understanding and regulation of these technologies, Dr. Zhao organized the Symposium on Temporal Ethics. The symposium brought together philosophers, ethicists, scientists, and policymakers to craft a comprehensive framework for dealing with temporal and dimensional technologies responsibly. Resolution and reflection. The implementation of the Paradox Protocol proved successful, and the temporal anomalies were stabilized. The gateway sealing was gradually reversed under strict control, and the Union implemented new safety protocols based on the findings from the symposium. As peace and stability returned, Dr. Zhao took a moment to reflect on the balcony of the Union headquarters, looking out over a city buzzing with interdimensional influences. She mused on the delicate balance they had achieved, a balance between exploration and safety, innovation and ethics. Looking ahead. The chapter closes with Dr. Zhao receiving a mysterious message from an unknown dimension, hinting at undiscovered realms and new adventures. The Union, now more experienced and cautious, was ready to face these challenges with a renewed sense of purpose and wonder. As the Galactic Union continues to explore and integrate the complexities of interdimensional spaces and the anomalies that arise from them, new horizons beckon. In the finale of this saga, we witness a pivotal moment that promises to reshape the understanding of the universe and the role of the Union within it. The Unknown Transmission. The mysterious message received by Dr. Emily Zhao at the end of Chapter 9 turns out to be a cryptic invitation from a dimension previously uncharted and unknown even to the confluence of realms. The message speaks of an assembly, the gathering of the Sentinels, a group that claims to oversee the balance of the multiverse. Intrigued and cautious, Dr. Zhao proposes a diplomatic mission to this new dimension, seeking to understand their intentions and capabilities. Preparation for the journey. With the approval of the Galactic Union's Council, a select team is assembled for the mission, including Commander Zalruk, Dr. Eon Mystery, and Liara, the skilled Shadowfolk navigator. They prepare the Harmony's Edge, now retrofitted with the latest interdimensional travel technology, including a prototype device known as the Dimensional Compass, designed to navigate through the complexities of folded space. Entry into the unknown. The journey to the dimension of the Sentinels is fraught with uncertainties. The Dimensional Compass proves its worth, guiding Harmony's Edge through layers of reality more intricate and volatile than anything previously encountered. As they traverse these layers, the fabric of space around them shimmers with energies that defy the established laws of physics. Upon arrival, they find themselves before a massive structure floating in a void, surrounded by stars that emit no light, a dark galaxy. The structure, a colossal station, is crafted from materials that shimmer with a spectral glow, suggesting advanced technology that combines elements of physical and ethereal properties. The gathering of the Sentinels. The team is welcomed by the Sentinels, beings who appear humanoid but with features that shift subtly, reflecting their ability to exist in multiple realities simultaneously. The leader of the Sentinels, known as the Warden, explains their role: to monitor and correct imbalances in the multiverse that could lead to its collapse. The discussions revealed that the disturbances experienced by the Union were symptoms of deeper, more dangerous fractures in the dimensional fabric. The Sentinels offer to share their knowledge and technology with the Union to prevent these fractures from expanding into catastrophic failures. Formation of the Multiversal Alliance. Recognizing the need for broader cooperation beyond the Galactic Union, Dr. Zhao proposes the formation of the Multiversal Alliance, a coalition of dimensions and realities dedicated to maintaining stability and harmony throughout the multiverse. The proposal is met with enthusiasm and agreement, marking a historic expansion of the Union's mandate. Celebration and reflection. As the agreement is formalized, a grand celebration is held aboard the Sentinel station, attended by representatives from multiple dimensions, each sharing their traditions and visions for a collaborative future. Dr. Zhao, reflecting on their incredible journey, feels a profound connection to the cosmos, understanding that their exploration and discoveries are just beginning. Looking forward. The chapter closes with Harmony's Edge returning to the Union, carrying not only new allies but also a new sense of purpose. Dr. Zhao, Commander Zalruk, and their team look forward to the future, ready to explore further and deeper into the mysteries of the multiverse, safeguarding not just their own reality, but all of existence.